my good buddies, Manny from Kansas City and Shep from Chi Town. Welcome back, guys. How are you?
Pretty good.
Doing well, doing well. Thank you.
All right. Right before the break, Shep was getting into a little. Let's go ahead and
More,
pick up where you left off.
well, it was just basically the moment of Lionel Messi and Argentina fighting France for the World Cup final, and I was in the airport, and everybody was trying to watch either the TVs or watching on their phones, and yeah, that's the only time I've ever seen that out in public in the U.S. It was just because everybody knows Lionel Messi's, the short little dude who looks like a video game glitch, the way he moves side to side, and people trying to see, can he finally get that World Cup that Argentina hadn't had since the other short little video game glitch, Diego Maradona, did it.
Yep.
And he did. It was just amazing. But well, I guess we can talk about the World Cup later. But
yeah, but I think
it's one of those moments. It's that sporting moment, right?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think your response was to my saying that for these 2.5 weeks, the March Madness just absolutely rules. And yes, you're absolutely right. In the U.S., it is not nearly the global phenomenon that are the two major World Cups, right? It's soccer and it's cricket. Cricket less so from a breadth standpoint, but I think just the fact that Cricket World Cup is always going to have the Indian and the Pakistani eyeballs on it, that's 2 billion right there, right?
Yeah,
So
a lot of people.
the moment you have that, I mean, it's going to be one of the most watched sports items in the world. So, but yes, those two World Cups across the globally, absolutely, those rules.
So, real quick, with speaking of that, adversarial relationship between nations, what do you guys think about Iran is in this year's World Cup, right? I mean, are they going to be able to make it to the matches?
They're trying to figure that out.
What
People's
if
trying
the
to figure that
Iran
out.
and USA meet up somehow in the World Cup? Wouldn't that be crazy? I mean, oh God.
I mean, if they're in it and they end up, they'll have to play, I guess. I don't know if we're gonna get to the whole you mentioned the political adversaries and whatnot.
Yes.
So we had over on the cricket side, we had the whole India and Pakistan, each team
Right.
poising, refusing to play against the other, and they weren't even at war. So yeah, who knows what's going to happen if we get to a point where there is a game. Oh,
I mean, the FIFA chairman Infantino has said that Iran will play. Iran has said they won't play unless they're relocated from the U.S. because the U.S., Canada, and Mexico are
Right.
So
That's
I think
true.
they're trying to see if they can get out of playing inside the U.S.
It'll be interesting.
yeah, yep. So you both are obviously a lot more interested in the game of soccer. Oh, there's that 3-pointer by Drew. Valpo wins 70-69. Man, yeah, I mean, I've got these buzzer beaters going, and it's insane how much we have forgotten, much less those iconic moments that actually stand out. Crazy stuff. All right, so speaking of which, I think this kind of feeds into the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which is some of the just talking about the tournament in general. So something, as I look back just on this tournament, not even historically, but I think it applies historically as well. Recency bias becomes such a large player in this, right? So the reason I knew Michigan was good. But the reason I had them losing in the Elite Eight, I had seen, I think I had seen one other Michigan game. Obviously, I try to catch highlights of major games. It would be impossible to make sure that I watch every single NCAA basketball game during the season. I try to catch
Wait, you don't do
highlights.
that? Really? Here I am getting ready for the show. I'm watching I have
Every
them
single.
recorded. Holy cow! I'm gonna start taking some shortcuts. Maybe I do some of these wrap up for me now.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Rizwan.
So I think I mentioned to you, Manny, last week. I watched Purdue Michigan Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
Just sat down and watched all of it because that day I got home and the game was just getting going. It was Selection Sunday, and I watched what Purdue did to Michigan. I knew Michigan was dominant, but I saw what Purdue did. What a penetrating, high energy point guard could do to that interior defense. And that's what stuck with me, right? All the highlights, all the stats, everything that I had read, all the metrics that I had read kind of went out the door when I sat down and filled out my bracket, because top of mind was, hey, what did that penetrating, high energy, energizer bunny point guard, short little dude, right? He's like 5'11",
Right.
or might be 6'0". He was able to do against this Michigan vaunted interior defense. And I was like, well, they're gonna, as I'm watching the matchups, I can't remember who I had them losing to, but I that went into play. That went into the equation. And obviously they figured out a way around it. They actually got drawing a blank on his name, but the center for Michigan, the Spanish kid, they had him, instead of coming off the bench, they had him starting, and he dominated. I mean, they just. I was just blown away with what they were able to do. The team that I watched beat Arizona yesterday was a vastly different team than the one I watched lose to Purdue in that Big Ten championship game. I'm not trying to say that the team didn't want to win that game. I'm not trying to say the coach took the foot off the accelerator, but I think the coach adjusted from that loss, right? And has led his team to this dominant run. And I think a lot
I
of
mean,
times when we're picking that,
Arizona's a good team,
they
by
are.
the way.
They're a
I mean,
very good team.
Statistically, it kind of looked like they were as good as Michigan going into this game.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying, Manny, you can correct me. I think you pay closer attention, but like I picked Arizona to lose to Duke in the title game. But Michigan toyed with Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean, they just beat them. Like, it was bad.
Yeah, that's what we were saying when it was just me and Manny discussing that the game was, for all intents and purposes, was over about 10 minutes in. It just looked like Arizona was trying but couldn't find any traction at all. So Michigan kind of coasted. More than half of the game, they coasted to a 20-point win in which they put 91 on an Arizona team. That's how dominant of a matchup this was. And I understand, Manny, we talk about it's one and done. It's on that day. So if they play again, will Michigan destroy them like that? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, they definitely had Arizona. I mean, what I saw in that game was that the Michigan basically just took away their interior, shot making and stuff. They weren't able to do much inside the paint. So when they, shut down their big guys, I mean, you're just relying on outside shots at that point. And then meanwhile, they, on the other end, were able to go in the inside paint and get their big guys involved on the offensive end. So they did a tremendous job, Shep. I definitely had Arizona at least playing for the championship tomorrow. So I'm very very surprised by how well this Michigan team has done. They're playing the way they started the season, where they were so dominant early on. And so, yeah, this team is looking like the one. I think the odds maker has Michigan up as well, right? For correct.
Yes, 7.5 point favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
I'm pretty confident that this Michigan team will end up going down as the best of all time at Michigan. But you never, like I said, can count out the UConn team as well, especially the way they've just just had the heart to keep coming back, even 19 points down to Duke. So it'll be exciting,
So,
man.
yeah,
You know,
that
I'm really-
game against Duke, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a good thing we are not in-game betters, right? Because Duke
Yeah,
up 19, I'd be like, I'm all in. I'm all in.
I'd
Duke's,
have lost
Duke's
the
gonna-
house by now.
right? So yes, kids, don't gamble.
I mean,
Don't get
Duke, so to defend my picks, it didn't work. I really thought Duke was the best team in the nation this year, and they just blew it, man. I think as much as UConn took it and they took their opportunity, Duke blew that game. I know we've already talked about
They
it,
did.
but like
It-
that.
Yeah.
So, Shep, I
Oof,
agree
man.
with a part of your assessment and disagree with the first part. So yes, absolutely, this was Duke's game to be had by with 5 minutes left in the first half. It was theirs. It was done. They should have done what Michigan did to Arizona in this Final Four game, but they didn't. So yes, they blew it. Kudos to UConn. They made
yeah.
the plays. I mean, it wasn't that it was completely mistake filled blunders by Duke. UConn made plays to claw back into the game. UConn made plays. I talked about how this team, the coaching makes such a difference because this team always makes the right play. Even on that buzzer beating 3-pointer by Mullins, I was saying, the guy who gets the steal, he could have, I think 9 times out of 10, maybe 99 times out of 100, the guy getting that turnover with 2 seconds on the clock is going to jack up a 3, right? That's what he's going to do. But he looks for the 3-point shooter, even though he's almost at the logo. He makes that pass. He doesn't panic. He makes the
Right.
pass, allows his 3-point shooter to set his feet and take a 34-foot 3-pointer and make it. Right? So kudos to them to the coach.
They
to
kept their
Hurley.
heads in the moment.
Yeah. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I mean, I know this from personal experience, having played sports at a much lower level most of my life. It's not knowing, it's actually keeping in mind in the moment and making the right play. That's difficult. Afterward, you're sitting there, saying, oh yeah, I know what I should have done. But are you trained enough? Are you disciplined enough to actually keep that in mind and make that right play? And UConn does. So yeah, I just don't see how Michigan loses this game. Just don't see it. And I think I'm gonna try to. By the way, I had Arizona beating Houston in the championship game, so my bracket is done. Of course, the last perfect bracket out there was destroyed by the Elite Eight. So that I think that's the other thing that keeps everybody interested, that makes this the king that it is during these 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
It's everybody has an opinion. Everybody gets to be able to make their predictions. And somebody, oh, there's that shot. North Carolina beating Phi Slamma Jamma. Jimmy V running out.
I know the Wolfpack. North Carolina State.
Yes.
Them fighting words to say North Carolina without distinguishing it.
Oh, did I say North Carolina? Sorry, South Carolina, NC State. NC State. So yeah, I mean, look, I absolutely love this time of year. I'm going to be a little disappointed. I'm always a little disappointed at the championship game because I know that it's over. Right? It's one of those.
True.
It's that's what it is. Yeah, this just occurred to me. I love the Super Bowl. I love the NFL. The Super Bowl, even when my team is not in it, it's enjoyable and it's satisfying. The March Madness is like a good book. And I'm always, as happy as I am having finished a good book, there's a part of me that's disappointed that it's over. And that's how I feel about March Madness. After the
Absolutely.
championship game, there's always a portion of me that's wishing for a little more. I wish
Mhm.
there was one more chapter. I wish
Right?
there were one more day. I
You,
wish there were
you
one
sound
more
like
game.
an addict, man. You need some help. Seriously. You know, there's a rehab for that, buddy.
You know, the sports calendar is interesting because depending on how many you truly get into, you have that a couple times a year, right? A few times, that feeling. Like for me, there's no better feeling than when college football kicks off, right?
Mhm.
And then at the end of the playoff, you kind of get almost anxious because you know it's going to be till August till you see that again, in late August, right?
Mhm.
And then with March Madness, so I follow college basketball, but I don't watch it intensely until March Madness.
Yeah.
So it's really only a month-long process where you're watching all the games, right? That intensely.
Championship week,
It-
and,
Yeah.
and the madness. Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden, I really like I pay attention, but I don't start paying attention until really March. Like, and so it's it's literally another year wait. Like I'll watch some games, but I don't like get into it the same way I do for the tournament. It's because the bracket's
Right.
so exciting, right?
And it gets really
And,
exciting, like after the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games are always elite, man. There's always like the heavyweights. So yeah, I really enjoyed like this past weekend and then the Final Four. There's nothing like it other than closely would be the World Cup, obviously, which is on another level. Yeah, I'm excited. What do we have to look forward to? Preseason football, right? I mean, for you guys,
Yeah.
baseball as
Hey,
well.
the draft is just around the corner.
The draft is just around the corner, but like so
That's
the
right, the
World
draft.
Cup is I'm looking forward to the World Cup.
Me too.
I've loved it ever since
All right,
the
since
US
you
actually
both-
had games on
like-
TV in 1990.
Oh yeah, I remember all those years ago back in college when you would be glued to the soccer games on TV.
For sure.
And it's a good thing no one has audio of me talking about officials.
Yep. All right. Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad I finally got graduated to the point where I could manipulate. It's
yeah,
that.
let the suits know that we don't need. We can close that requisition for the non-paying internship they've had supposedly posted for the last 6 months. But you got this, okay?
2 years,
You
man.
got this.
2 years. 2
What
years
kind
I've been
of IT
asking.
guy are you, man? It took you 2 years to do this. No, I'm just kidding. You do a lot. You got a lot on your mind.
Yep.
All
All right.
I appreciate that.
Okay. Well, a pleasure having you guys both join me today. Wonderful, wonderful conversation as always. Have a happy Easter to you and yours, to everyone out there. I hope, Shep, I hope you got some good egg hunt going for the girls.
Yeah, it's actually somewhat warm today. A sunny 44 degrees.
Yeah. Old man winter is not quite done just yet.
It doesn't relinquish all the way till sometime in May in Chicago.
Well, for Chicago, yeah, but even down here. So this morning it was 49 degrees. And today I think the high is only going to be about 68. I would imagine up in Kansas, Manny, it's somewhere in between. It's probably fairly cold.
It's 53 right now, so it's climbing.
Yeah.
Not as cold as Chicago, but we'll take it, man. Sometimes you'll even see snow in late April over the years. So I think we're done for this year, but I'm excited. It's a nice sunny day. My lawn is telling me you better take care of me today or by next weekend. So having a look at those chores as well. But yeah,
All right.
Happy Easter.
Well,
We'll talk again
Yep,
soon.
happy Easter, everybody.
okay. Bye all.
Take care.
All right. Now I gotta figure. Oh, yes. All right. Rizwan's law of object manipulation. I guess I'm smarter than the phone system, at least. I figured it out. It was such a pleasure having Shep and Manny be able to join and have these conversations. I hope you have enjoyed the conversations that we've had. Gotta tell you real quick about Jimmy's before we go off the air. Jimmy's Barbecue and Grill and catering services. They do so much, man. It's just it's my go-to when I'm looking to go out and eat. Jimmy's is my go-to because on Tuesday nights they do a barbecue special. On Wednesday nights they do an Afghani and Irani buffet special. On Thursday nights they do my favorite limited buffet where they have mutton kunna, beef nihari, and rasili chicken pulao. Just those three items with a dessert, but man, oh man, they pack a punch. It's so good. Always a pleasure going there on Thursday nights. And then, of course, today is Sunday, and Sunday is when they have their insanely huge, just absolutely amazing buffet. They have almost 50 items on the buffet. You could, I mean, if you tried a bite of every item, you'd be full by the time you finished. And just absolutely amazing the variety that they have at this lavish Sunday brunch buffet. So if you don't have lunch plans yet, do go out, check out Jimmy's. But otherwise, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and of course, in between, any day, you can order off the menu juicy burgers, zingers, and desi food, anything and everything that you would want, you can find at Jimmy's. Do go check them out. And of course, they're there for all your catering needs for your private parties and whatnot. Okay. So that is Jimmy's, and you've been listening to the Sports Spotlight. I had a blast discussing all these things. Again, excited about being on the FM frequency, 107.9 HD4 FM frequency. You can always listen to us, and you're going to catch me on Wednesday night again with Chandni Rate, and right here on Radio Azad on the Sports Spotlight next Sunday at 10 a.m. Until then, take care of yourselves. Happy Easter again.
You're listening to Radio Azad, where your voice matters. Entertain, inform, inspire.
You are listening to Radio Azad on KDX.